Okay, so I forgot to record my presentation when we did the professional development. Therefore, and since many of you actually requested for the recording, I am going to record, make a shorter video, okay? So that you can anyway go back and find everything you need for this school year. Okay, so we are going to begin our surviving the virtual jungle. Well, yes, okay. Now we're not going to make a Bitmoji classroom. We are going to keep things simple for this year. So first of all, let's start with our EDB video.
Virtual meeting. I don't want to meet with y'all. So that we virtual? This the same school where the internet never worked? Let's replace the real meetings with virtual meetings from now on. I was living my best teacher break life and you gonna come and mess that up. If we was in school, we wouldn't be teaching. We'd be teaching to a test. So since it ain't no test, what's with all the stress? We gotta set up online learning. I got an idea. Let them learn how they want to learn math. Let them calculate how many times they go in the kitchen and get a snack. Subtract how many times they ask for permission. Reading. Let them summarize the level of Fortnite they got to. History. Let them talk about the test. It's technically testing is history this year. Social studies. Let them make up something because we can't be social these days anyway. It's not that I don't want to talk to y'all. This social distance broke us up. I just started quarantining from the stress levels I got in the fall. In the meeting, we gotta mute our laptops. Don't mute the laptops, mute the meeting. This is unnecessarily unnecessary. I'm at home trying to relax. I'm not gonna get all dressed up to have no virtual meeting. I'm gonna have on a collar shirt with drawers on. Professional up top, sleepy down low. I just hope I don't forget and accidentally stand up. You need to let the teachers and the kids just chill for the rest of the year. We all tapped out anyway. Me and my laptop sick of y'all.
Okay, so we are going to cut all the unnecessary, but we are also going to try to see what we might need for our survival in the jungle. Okay, we're going to be synchronous, therefore we're going to be live with the students, and we're going to have a big part for the asynchronous learning that the students will do on their own, but we will have to plan. Okay, so let's see exactly what we need to do when we are together. And this being day 2 of our school year, we have already learned a few lessons. Okay, so you have to do you. Just be yourself. Remember what you are really trying to communicate to the students, how you can do it the best way, the way that works for you. If it works for you, it is going to work for the students. Participation, that is one of the most important things to do in the virtual classroom, online, on Teams. We need to get these students talking, asking questions, participate in the class as if they were there with us at school, because this is what they need. And in reality, this is what we need from them too. The engagement has to be very active. Okay, so they always need to have something to do as they are listening to our classes. We can try to have some small group practice with the channels, and then later on we'll have access to the breakout rooms. If you don't know how that works, get together with a colleague, ask in the general chats on Teams, and I'm pretty sure that you will find someone to work with. Okay, instructions for our students have to be extremely clear. They need to know what is expected from them, how to go on, how to do their asynchronous work, and those instructions have to be given by us during our live events, because obviously they can ask questions if something is not clear. So we need to use our synchronous lessons for this. Now, you may want to think about what your position is on how to use your synchronous time with the students. You can put the video on pause, take notes. I will keep going, okay, to make this short and effective. So what happens when we are not together? Students need to have had clear instructions, and they need a den. Okay, they need a space, a virtual space where they know they will find everything they need. So in my case, I use Italo Lab, which is our website. I'm going to quickly show you what you can find there. So students, especially the students that don't know me, can go to the page La Prof, they can read about me, they can check my certifications in the end, because it's always good for students to know what we can actually do. Then I have a page for parents where they find out everything. They find several letters that I need them to sign for me. So like, for example, if I'm showing movies, Italian movies are like really unclassifiable, because if there's no language, there's someone naked, there are several things that some parents might not really want their kids to be exposed to. So what I do, I give them a list of titles for the movies, and I tell them, okay, if you do not want your child to watch this movie, you can send this paper back signed, so that I know you don't want to. But I also tell them in the same letter that I will take care of skipping all those parts. But for language, for example, it's impossible. If I had to skip every bad word in an Italian movie, I would not be showing them anything. So it's important for parents to know what their child will be exposed to. Then I have my syllabus here. Then I have my page La Settimana, which is basically the lesson plan for the whole week, divided by level with day A, day B, so that every day, I ask them to get on this page to know what they will be doing. Then I have my journal here. um, they have access to blend space. They have all the information about the AP Italian, the IB Italian. They have the links to remind useful websites, and so on and so forth. Okay. Oh, have I lost my presentation? I didn't I? Let me see. I did. Yeah, but I will be back. There we go. We haven't lost it. Okay, so I have a website so that my students can find everything there. Okay, then yes, of course, I am going to use the hub. We have to use the hub. We use it. But there again, since there are well, day one proved, and day two as well, that the hub is not exactly the best to store assignments for the students. I always make sure to have a copy on a PDF or a link that I can send them on Remind, so they can do the assignment regardless of whether or not they can upload the assignment on the hub. And then whenever the hub is kind enough to let us submit stuff, I will make sure to have them submit the work. And then we have Teams. Teams is amazing because we can use it for our synchronous learning, but we can also use it to share assignments, to put there all the stuff that doesn't work in the hub. Okay, but it's very important that the students know that whenever one kind of technology is not working, you will be providing them with a different kind of technology that maybe works and makes their life easier. Okay, so you may want to reflect and think about what kind of den do you want to prepare for your lions. Okay, then we are going to go on and we are going to see the resources on AP Central. AP teachers can relax this year. There are plenty of resources available on AP Classroom. So make sure that you visit your AP Classroom, you assign work to your AP students, and the great, amazing resource you're going to have this year are the AP Daily videos. Miss Show for Japanese and myself for Italian. We are actually recording these videos for our subjects. You will find them under the units in Google Classroom. For each unit, you will have several videos because they will be on a specific skill, on a specific task. They will have practice, strategies for your students, and yes, that is all work you don't have to do so that you can focus on providing your students with all the help they need to improve. Then let's get to Flipgrid. Okay, Flipgrid is an amazing way to interact for the students. Okay, I'm going to go to Flipgrid right now because I want you to see how it actually works. Okay, so I'm going straight to the educator login. You will have to sign up if you need it as an educator. Okay, so you will have to go to admin.flipgrid.com, and here I will show you a few examples. Let me see. I want to get to the example I showed you. There we go, level 2. There was one, okay, this is a group. So I have a group for my level 2 where I put all the possible assignments, okay, all the topics. So here, for example, we were studying conditional with the students, and the question was, what would you do if you won the lottery? And the student had an example here where they could listen.
Dopo la notizia che in queste ore ha girato l'Italia riguardante la straordinaria vincita al Superenalotto di 5 milioni di euro, tanta è la curiosità di scoprire l'identità dei fortunati vincitori e di come spenderanno la somma. Una curiosità che nasce spontanea e che ci ha portati ad indagare i sogni nel cassetto dei cittadini.
And I mean, you don't know Italian, so I'm going to stop it there. But basically, in that on that video, there were several interviews with a student, I'm sorry, not with students, with just people who were saying what they would do if they won the lottery. Okay, so this is a video that one of my students recorded.
Se vincessi la lotteria, io sarei molto felice. Prima farai mettere soldi per il mio collegio, educazione.
Okay, and you can hear, so there was just answering the question. Okay, then here I'm going to show you though the same student who is very creative. Let me see, and she actually used several functions.
Se vincessi la lotteria, io sarei.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm in the right one right now. So there we see. Okay, here we go.
Buongiorno, la casa ha un affitto di 2.000 euro al mese. La casa è a Roma.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you this because when you record your Flipgrid videos, you can actually use images, okay? You can use several, you can write notes, you can have a whiteboard, you can add a lot of interesting features to your Flipgrid presentation. One question, and something I did not go over during actually the live session was, okay, so how do I create it? So let's see, for example, I go to topics. Okay, here you can create groups, okay? You create a group. I would suggest that you create the group as a private group. You will give it a group name. You will give it a code, okay? There will be a code that is pre-assigned for you, but in reality, you can call your code geography, BHS, Okay, and yes, it is available. So I could create my special code for my classroom. Maybe the group name would be Geography 2020, or you can call it the way you prefer. Now, how do you add the students to the group? I use the student email. Okay, then if I go on, it tells me, okay, add the email domain. And what is our school's email domain? At online.houstonisd.org. Okay, you want to have a password? Yes, you can create a special password and make it even safer so nobody else can enter. Honestly, I avoid it because honestly, I don't know anybody who would like to enter my students' Flipgrid, so I just leave it as it is, okay? You enter at online.houstonisd.org. You create your password. You do as you please. Then you go to next. And then maybe you have already created topics like me, and you want to choose to add the already created topics to the group. Okay, or maybe you want to skip it. Okay, so I am going to skip it for now, and then we go. Our group has already been created, and I will just copy it and send it to my students, or I can share it on Microsoft Teams, or no, I cannot share it to Google Classroom because the district decided we could not use Google Classroom. What a shame. It was ready to use. Or you can share it on Remind. Okay, now I am going to cancel all this. I am going to delete this group because I don't need it anymore. And I don't want to keep, you know, the special code or anything. Okay, so that is how you can use Flipgrid and how you can create your own group and your own topics. Okay, so you can use it in several different ways. You can have students create a presentation. You can have students present to you how they got to a specific solution for a math problem, or if you're teaching English, you can introduce literature, or if you teach a foreign language, you can have them do presentations in the language, and you can also ask your students to reply to the videos other students have created. Okay, for example, I am cooperating. I have a co-pilot in Italy. I actually have two co-pilots in Italy who have their students record video on the same topic as my students. And then what do? They also reply to each other's videos. Okay, so communication in Italian becomes more authentic, more real for them. Okay, so this is what we can do for Flipgrid. Okay, now synchronous or asynchronous learning. When you do actually record videos, and with Flipgrid, you can record videos for your students because you can use all the tools available to show images to your students, to show text, okay, to explain a lot better. What I do, I also share my videos with a lot of teachers in the United States. I use YouTube for video storage, for sharing, because it's very easy to add the link everywhere. And if you don't want to share too much, but just with your students, you can also set the videos on YouTube to private mode. So only the people with the link that you shared can watch your video, okay? Now, in reality, there are several ways to do the storage, to create videos. You can do that with Screencastify, and Screencastify without a specific school code. You just have 5 minutes to record the videos, but I found that actually very useful for me, because if I am taking just way too long in a video, Screencastify tells me, okay, you have 20 seconds, wrap it up. Because the reality is, for students, maybe a video for 5 minutes is more than enough. It is important, though, to also be able to do the upgrade, and I really hope Bel Air does have a code, because sometimes you have to watch a video with the students that you want to work with within the video, or maybe you have to read something, or you have to do some work that takes a little longer than 5 minutes, and I think that up to 10-15 minutes, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so this is how you record for Screencastify. You have to download the app, and you will get it in your Chrome, and then you can just press record. And this is an example of a video that I made with
I'm going to show
Screencastify,
you how you can use
sharing the
donorschoose.org
browser.
to create projects, to receive materials.
And you can choose whether you want to
My name
show.
is Maria Gloria Borsa, and I am the
I'm
CAS
going
coordinator
too fast. It's
for
too
Bel
fast.
Air
Oh
High
my God.
School. Okay?
Okay. Let's pause this. Okay, so you can show yourself in a video, or you can also choose, like I chose to do, for example, today, to just show what the students are supposed to see. Okay, I am going to just go to the next part.
My name is Maria Gloria Borsa, and I am the CAS coordinator for Bel Air High School.
Okay, this was a video
now
that I created with Zoom, or with Screencastify. No, that was still Screencastify. This is a video that I created with Zoom for the
Ok,
College
quindi
Board.
vediamo questo video, prendete
And actually, the video I am creating right now for you is also recorded with Zoom. Okay, this is the part that I'm showing you with the Screencastify, where you can press the red button. I'm sorry, let me say again. This is with Flipgrid, okay? When you're in Flipgrid and you are recording your video, you just press the red button, and then you also have several options, like you can upload a clip, notes, you can mute your microphone, you have several effects. Let me show you all these effects. You can use filters, frames, emojis. You can write on your video. You can draw on it. You can upload photos, GIFs. Okay, and those are a few functions offered by Flipgrid, okay, to record videos. Now, let's see. Students are as lost as we are as we begin, and therefore it is very important that we try to have an individual contact with them. Okay, I already told you about all the emails that I sent before school started with my remind code, so the students had joined before we got together on for the first day of class. And sometimes from last year, from the spring, I realized that it is very important to have, like, to send messages that are just for that student. Now, we don't really have the time to write a specially tailored message for each student, but if you have students that are not responding, for example, to the group remind messages, maybe you can just copy and paste a message like this: "Hi," and then you write the name. How are things going? I saw you did not submit, or you did not participate, or something, or I would like you to participate more. And you just copy it and change the name. Please remember to change the name, and just paste this message on several remind spaces for the students, because I saw that when they saw their name in the message, they would actually reply. Group messages, the most motivated would. The ones that got a little depressed because life was being very tough on them, they didn't. But they did when they saw that I was actually sending a message specifically to them. Email families, and remember to write their email addresses as a hidden receiver, because otherwise you're sharing the email addresses with everyone, and that is spamming, and families often don't appreciate that. On Teams, organize small group work. You can do it by creating smaller channels and test it out with the students. Tell them, okay, we are going to try something new if you haven't done it yet, because they like the fact that we are trying new things to help them. Okay, and yes, do use Remind extensively, because it's the fastest way to communicate with the students, and it does help us a lot. So this is basically all. This is a picture of us together when we were in the general professional development meeting last week. Count on each other, create um, your little group of people that you really count on. And remember that at Bel Air, you can count on a lot of people. The faces here are some of the people you can count on. Think about what you can do with your department, with your PLC, and sometimes even contact people that you think you may be able to rely on, even if they're not in your department or in your PLC, because we can help each other even though we don't teach the same subject. So thank you very much for having been here. I am in my closet recording this because this is where I get the best internet in the house. And so I think you will find this amusing. I hope you will find this amusing. I don't know where you're recording from, but wherever we're recording from, what matters is that we take care of the students. So good luck for this school year.